Handstands. Probably the most widely known bodyweight skill. For those who can't do them, we marvel. And for those that can, we are open to a whole new avenue of fitness. But what are handstands good for? Moreover, what is the point? I mean, yeah, it's interesting to look at, but considering the world of fitness often comes with a what's in it for me asterisk, which is fair. I mean, if we're going to put our efforts into something, the knowledge that that will eventually yield results is a very strong motivator. So today we'll be digging into the benefits of handstands, starting with what it does to our back muscles. Handstands wouldn't be the first thing you'd consider when considering back exercises. I mean, it's essentially an isometric overhead press. But have you ever seen the upper backs of hand balancers? I mean, really stopped to take a look. The quote-unquote weird factor of handstands often distracts from the fact that it's a very demanding skill, requiring our delts, traps and rhomboids to hold our body weight upside down at the end range of shoulder flexion. Now, all of this upper back definition could be a fallacy of causation and correlation. After all, to learn handstands, you typically need a dogged determination and a willingness to work on something that most people wouldn't, which coincidentally are both traits that you also need in order to build muscle. Whatever the reason, I wouldn't mind having the upper back of a hand balancer. And let's entertain a little bit more shallowness for a second and talk about what handstands do to our ego. Handstands are, simply put, a cool skill. I mean, human beings aren't designed to balance upside down on our hands, and yet, here we are. So when we talk about the confidence that comes from training, the self-improvement, the mental fortitude, handstands give us this and then some. For many, including myself, handstands was just a completely impossible feat. When I started my own calisthenics journey, I could conceptualize a muscle up as some sort of pull-up on crack, or an L-sit. But when I learned how to handstand, that was when I genuinely started to believe that no fitness goal was outside the realms of possibility. We also have the benefit on our body awareness. To learn how to handstand, we need to better understand how to move our body through space, aka proprioception. And on top of this, we need to do this while being in a position that we're not all too familiar with, i.e. being inverted. This makes hand balancers uniquely aware of changes to their body. You'll be sensitive to a lack of sleep because it might be harder to balance. You'll know when your weight has fluctuated because that balance point will feel heavier or lighter. If you've only recently eaten, flipping yourself upside down might not be the best idea. Handstands will literally force you to address areas that you may have ignored with other contemporary training, because if you don't, these limitations will show themselves in our handstands. It is for this reason why many hand balancers usually have a routine to their training. And we know that habitualizing good habits is a great way to snowball gains that can spill over to areas of our lives well outside the realm of fitness. The next benefit is a weird one that I only really noticed in hindsight, and it is an improvement in our pull-ups. I'm ready to die on this hill that handstands will markedly improve pull-ups. And although I only really have my own n=1 experience, my theory is that because handstands allow us to get really strong in that shoulder flexion end range, we become stable in the bottom portion of the pull-up, which is also the same position, giving us a better foundation. We know our central nervous system inhibits our ability to create strength in areas that it doesn't think we have enough stability or strength in. And I believe this is true for the pull-up, which is why I think handstands have such a benefit here. Now, am I saying that handstands alone will turn us into pull-up beasts? Of course not. But if we consider that calisthenics is just a string of minor gains that all get added together into something that will one day allow us to do ungodly things to gravity, then better stability and end shoulder flexion range is one of these gains. There is also the sense of community that comes with handstands. It's hard not to notice somebody's feet in the air flailing about, and at least in a typical gym, this can unite us by simply having a common hobby. In my experience, this leads to conversations on everything from how long you've been doing this, through to helping each other with top handstand tips. In honesty, half my gym friends have been made in this way, and if you think the calisthenics community is friendly, the hand balancer community is even friendlier. And then there is the benefit to our mental focus. If you told me to relax by doing yoga, the way my brain works is that I would still be stressed, just now I'll be stressed in downward dog. We can muscle through a bicep curl or a push-up, and we could argue that the movement can still be achieved even if our mind is elsewhere. With the handstand though, to get into this position, particularly as a beginner, you have no choice but to focus. And there is a real calm that comes with staring at the ground at that spot between our hands that is very difficult to explain. I've often found these moments, handstanding, surrounded by grunting deadlifters in a really loud gym with music that I absolutely hate, to be the most calming moments of my day. And in a world where stress seems to be continually growing, I find that extremely valuable. But crowd, these are the benefits of handstands, and if you want to learn how to handstand, then check out this video right here.